Hi, Randy Wheeler here with Wheeler Coaching. In this video, I want to unpack something that is critical for every leader. A leader has to see more before other people. If you are the person that has the idea, you have a vision. But here's the challenge. How do you, as a leader, set a vision for your organization? If you have the idea and you started the organization, then it may come easy. But maybe you just got the position. Maybe you're in a middle role in an organization. Maybe you're at the top of the organization. Or maybe you've got this great idea, but you don't know how to share it with the rest of the organization. If we don't have clarity as leaders on our vision, then it's going to be unclear for everybody else in the organization. And so let me just give you some ideas on how to set a vision for your team and for your organization. First of all, why does your organization exist? I go to different organizations and if I ask them this question, aside from making money or aside from whatever that maybe nonprofit desire is, they may not be as clear. Why do you really exist? Oh, well, we exist to help people if we're a nonprofit. We exist to make money if we're a for-profit. But what's the why behind it? What's the thing that gets you up every day, even on those days you don't want to get up? For example, this organization, Wheeler Coaching, exists so I can help people lead better at work. And if they lead better at work, it transforms homes, transforms communities. Because at the end of the day, everything rises and falls on leadership. So if you can lead better, it will bring transformation. That gets me going. That gets me up each and every day. So get clear on why does your organization exist. The next piece of this puzzle is getting clear on the problem you solve. Every organization, every team has a problem they're solving. For example, I'll take it to a smaller level. If it's just a team that's been assembled to handle a project, well, that project is there because there's a problem that needs to be solved. If it's a nonprofit organization, it's probably pretty obvious the problem that you solve because that's probably what drove the organization into existence. The American Red Cross, it exists to help solve the problem of people dying because other people don't know how to save their lives through training such as CPR training. For a business organization, well, what's the problem your widget solves? What's the problem your service solves? Get clear on that because that'll take us to the next step. The next step is have conversation with your key leaders. Why is this important? You're the leader. It should come from you. I get that. But if the people on our team don't buy in, then the vision will go nowhere. There's people in your team, on your organization, that are key influencers. They may have positions of power, or they may not, and they're influential in the culture of your organization or your team. By involving them in this process of, hey, where are we going? Because that's what vision is answering. Where are we going? By having them involved and bought into the process, the vision will go cascading out better. The final piece of this idea of setting vision is painting the picture to the organization. You understand why the organization exists, and everybody's excited about the why, but then they're like, okay, what are we doing? I was meeting with a client years ago, and during the shutdown, the pandemic time, they had a clear vision, and part of that vision was just purely survival. Certain tasks they needed to fulfill over and over to keep things afloat. But they were in a stage that they didn't feel they had that clear vision. And I don't know that it was because the leadership didn't have the vision, it just wasn't being shared. So once you are clear on here's the problem we solve and here's what we're going to do about that problem, And in the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years, here's where we're going to be. Paint that picture for your team. Now, that's a whole nother subject of how do we paint the picture, but let me give you a real quick, brief way to do it. This is where we were. This is where we are. And here's where we're going. And here's how we're going to get there. And help them see themselves in that picture. Then people get on board and people get excited. So those are some tips for you on how you can set a vision for your organization. Let me share them again. Know why your organization exists. Get clear on the problem you solve. Have conversations with the key leaders and influencers to get their buy-in and input. And then paint the picture to the organization so everybody is heading in the same direction. Which of these do you need to work on this week? Where do you need to get more clarity for your vision so your team can have more clarity, so you can go further, faster? Take a moment to think about that after you stop this video. And in the meantime, if you found this helpful, please share it with others. Subscribe to this page on YouTube. And if you're not getting this directly to your email inbox, go to leadwell.biz, scroll down, get a free leadership ebook. And while you're there, feel free to take the leadership assessment. Have a fantastic day and lead well.